Welcome to the second segment in the PowerPoint Skills Development Series. In this presentation, we'll be working with graphics and adding them to your slides. At the end of this presentation, you'll be able to describe copyright information applied to graphics and identify different sources of free and low-cost graphics. You will also be able to insert a graphic such as these and combine these graphics to create a cohesive concept such as this image using the Picture Tool Format Editor, which allows you to remove the background, crop images, change the colors, apply and tweak artistic effects, and much more. It is important to begin any discussion about using graphics with an overview of fair use and copyright. Copyright is a law that gives the creator of the graphic, photo, video clip, or other original creation ownership of their creative works. Copyright law gives the creator the right to reproduce, prepare derivatives, distribute copies, and display their creative work publicly. This is noted by Bailey, 2011, located in the references. There are also several types of permissions that you should be aware of when considering the use of a graphic: fair use, Creative Commons, and royalty-free. Let's talk about fair use. If you're an educator, fair use allows you to use copyrighted materials in the classroom for the purpose of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. If you're not an educator or a student, and the use of the creative work is not intended for one of these purposes in the classroom, then you need to obtain copyright permission to use the creative work. This is suggested by Instructional Technology Services of Texas A&M University, 2011, also located in the references. If your intended purpose falls within these uses, keep in mind that fair use also limits the use of copyrighted materials. Du Bois and Perez, 2011, suggest limiting to 1,000 words or 10% of the text for quotations, 3 minutes or 10% of the work for videos and motion media, and 5 photos from any one artist or photographer. However, Tevis-Nolting, 2014, cautions that NOLA law determines fair use on a case-by-case basis and that there's no absolute guideline to apply when determining fair use. She suggests using findlaw.com when seeking more specific guidance that is up to date. I will include this link in the comments below the video. Creative Commons is a permission designated by the creator that allows any other individual a predetermined level of ability to copy, make use of, or distribute some of their copyrighted works. Keep in mind that the creator can limit or expand the permissions of the user, so be sure to check what types of permissions are allowed through the Creative Commons license. For examples of levels of Creative Commons permissions, check out the website creativecommons.org. I'll also include this in the comment section of this video. The most common websites used for Creative Commons works is Microsoft Clipart. These are the images that are typically seen in PowerPoint presentations because it is the site that most people go to. A note of caution at this point: public domains, spaces where people upload their own images, are considered an implied Creative Commons permission. However, keep in mind that you do not know if the person uploading this image is the one who owns the image. If the source of the image or the permissions granted cannot be determined, then you should err on the side of caution and not use this image. Royalty-free images are images that you pay for only once, and then you can use it as many times as you like, with just a few restrictions. In other words, there's no license fees except for the initial fee and no other royalties to be paid except for those included in the initial cost. Some websites that offer royalty-free images also offer some of their images free with just a few limitations. These websites are a great resource for images, so let's look at a couple of these options that you should consider. This image and the previous image were both from dreamstime.com. In order to download their free images, you need to set up a free account and your user profile. After that, you can search for images and download the free ones. They also have some great low-cost images to choose from. Fotolia.com is another great website to consider. However, this website is more for the frequent user. They have a few select free images, but you need to register for the free membership, set up your profile, and then frequently visit the site. They also offer the opportunity to upload your own pictures. If another member downloads your pictures, then you get some free credits towards another low-cost image. Just one more to mention, although there are likely a number of websites that I could mention, morgfile.de was the easiest website to look for free images and download them. There was no membership required. However, this site also offers other images from other sites for a fee. When including an image in your presentation, remember that if there's a logo or a superimposed image over your photo, then you do not have permission to use that photo. And everyone watching your presentation will also know that you do not have permission to use that photo. A final note about sources of graphics: consider using your own photos as a resource. Most people have a camera phone, iPad, or other device that takes images. If you plan to be a trainer or conduct your own presentations, start collecting your own images and organizing them into files. This graphic is a combination of two pictures that I took at separate times. I did take them with the idea that they might be useful in a presentation, but I did not have a specific concept in mind. When selecting a graphic from an online source, clip art, or your own photos, be sure that the image selected is relevant to the content you are trying to convey. This is because research has determined that the information presented in a presentation is more likely to be recalled if it is linked to a relevant graphic. This best practice is based on cue summation theory, which suggests that learning cues enhance retrieval of information when text is combined with relevant images. Let's insert a graphic. Select the slide that you'd like to add a graphic to. Go to the navigation bar and select the Insert tab. If you selected a picture from one of the online sources of free and low-cost images, you should have downloaded the picture to a file on your computer. Select the picture icon and navigate to the image you'd like to insert. Now select Insert. And there you go, the image is displayed on your slide. If you have not selected an image from an online source, you can add Microsoft Clip Art. Remember, Clip Art falls under the Creative Commons license. To add an image from Clip Art, simply select the Clip Art icon under Insert and search for the image that you like. Let's pick this one. All right, so now we have inserted both clip art and a photo. All right, let's close the clip art. Let's work with this image. So we'll delete this image over here. Let's look at some image editing to make the image more polished and to combine images to get a more relevant effect. Often an image will be perfect, but the background clashes with the presentation. Or you have a colored or textured design and the image has a white or solid background like this one does. If the picture is perfect, an easy way to polish the presentation is to remove the background. It is easier to work with an image that has a solid background. However, you can also remove the background on an image that's not solid, it just takes more work. To remove the background, simply double-click the image. This makes the Picture Tool Format Editor tab appear, which is not normally a visible feature in the navigation bar. Go to the left of the navigation bar, you'll see an icon, Remove Background. Click the icon. Here you can see there's a movable square. You need to move the edges of the square to encompass the entire picture that you want to keep. Now the purple is what's going to be removed. We want this white to be removed. So we're going to mark areas to remove. Now click outside to see how it looks. While having this part of the image removed may normally be an issue, we're actually going to crop this image so that this is not in the picture, so we're not going to worry about that. All right, so let's crop the image next. The crop feature in the Picture Tool Format Editor is a very useful tool when you're trying to fit the picture into a shape that is slightly different. One example would be finding a great picture that you'd like to use as the background image, but in order to make it fit, you have to stretch it out, and then the images in the picture look stretched. This makes the overall presentation look amateurish. The way to change the shape or the overall picture is to use the crop function. So let's put a white background on here. Bring this image to the front and move it down. What we want to do is make this gentleman here very large so he encompasses the whole picture. To do this, double-click the picture to bring up the Picture Tool Format Editor. To the right on the navigation bar, you'll see the crop feature. When you click on the crop feature, you will see the handles appear. Click on the handle you want to move to drag the handles in the area you want visible after the image is cropped. All right, now let's resize this image. Place the image where you want it. Keep adjusting it until you're satisfied with the size and shape of the final image. This final image is looking away from where our text may be. To flip the image, simply double-click on the image and select Rotate and flip horizontally. Now our image is looking towards the potential text. There are a number of other effects that are available in the Picture Tool Format Editor to change the appearance of an image. Let's insert an image real quick. As you can see, the background on this image is purple, whereas the background on our PowerPoint is more of a brown gray. Let's change the color of the picture. All right, now we have a picture that matches. Let's place this in the background. And we'll use our crop functions to scale this. Here we have an illustration and a picture. When moving between a picture and illustrations, artistic effects are great for blending these two together. Keep in mind when working with images in a presentation, you should try to be consistent. Don't mix cartoon illustrations with pictures of people or illustrations with images. One way to blend these together is through artistic effects. So let's click on our picture and go up to artistic effects. All right. You can play around with this feature and see what artistic effects you like. This is the one that I use most when blending illustrations with pictures. If you find that when applying the artistic effect it makes the image features indistinguishable, you can adjust the level to the effect. To do this, double-click on the picture and bring up the Picture Tool Format Editor. Select the artistic effects and at the bottom, Options. Now you can adjust the transparency so that you can see the image behind it. or the number of shades. This is also a great way to add an image of yourself to the presentation at the beginning when introducing yourself if you do not use something like a video or present me software. The final graphic editing tool that I would like to show you is the picture frame options. We're going to use the picture frame to polish and finish the concept. To add a picture frame, simply double-click on the image to bring up the picture tool format editor and select the frame that you would like. This is fairly standard, and most people know how to apply a picture frame. However, here's a neat trick for refocusing and creating soft edge images. Let's insert a thought bubble. All right, let's change the color, make sure it matches. All right, now let's insert money. All right, let's change the color again. Make sure it matches. All right, now we're going to insert or apply this picture frame and bring it over here. Now we're going to add the crop function to change the shape of the frame. And blend it a little bit. One of the cool things about using the crop function is that you can change where the picture is, how big the picture is. Let's say this person's thinking about workers in the background and he's working on a budget. Now we clearly have a worker in the background. We have a gentleman here who's discussing the budget, and here's the budget on his mind. Now the finished product appears to be a cohesive idea. In this segment, we discussed potential copyright issues related to graphics and where you can find unique free and low-cost graphics. We also demonstrated how to insert a graphic and the different features of the picture tool format editor with some examples of how to use these functions in your presentation. Finally, this demonstration provided you with the basics of editing graphics and hopefully inspires you to further investigate graphic editing features that can enhance your presentation. Let me know if you have any questions about inserting or working with graphics for PowerPoint. The next segment in this series will demonstrate how to apply transitions and animations to enhance your presentation's content.